Like I'm ready for this. You ready for this? Like I haven't been doing this for 10 weeks.
It seems as though that listening to you, you've been talking about how you have the left hook, Danny Garcia has the left hook, but this is the first fight where I've seen that in promotion you haven't really come off as confident. It's almost like you look at it as it's really a 50-50 fight. How do you view that?
I'm about to knock him out, man. I don't want to hear that.
So you're going for the knockout?
Do I not go for the knockout? That's what y'all don't understand. First off, it's one time all the time, KOs for life. All right? The model doesn't change. The philosophy doesn't change. The only thing is when a fighter starts showing me that it's not easy to get what I want, then I'm going to get the other portion of what I want, which is overall victory of the night. Okay? Did we not buckle Sean Porter? Was he not hurt several times in the fight? Okay, but for some reason, I don't know if it had to do with the car accident, the layoff, yada, yada, yada. When we connected with the one, we couldn't follow up. We did not shut him down. We did not put him out, okay? I promised myself if Garcia buckles the way that Porter buckled, we have to close it out, But I mean, I'm just tired of the fucking shit talk, man. Fuck y'all, what do y'all want me to talk about? Don't y'all want to see the fight? You know what I'm saying? I'm here to fight. Because nothing matters except for the fight, I mean, I can give you a prediction. The fight will end within 4 rounds. You know what I'm saying? I can do whatever. But then if it doesn't happen, then what? Keith Thurman don't know what he's talking about. Danny was way more of a challenge than he's like. Tired of all y'all reporting and all this other stuff, man. I'm a world-class fighter. No matter what happens, win, lose, draw, Keith One Time Thurman is a world-class fighter. Every single time I step in the ring, I give you world-class fights, okay? And I'm going to continue to do that to the day I retire, all right? But the thing is, I just have a new confidence, man, and some of y'all know, some of y'all don't. I talk about it a little, I don't talk about it a lot, but I'm spiritual, all right? And I've hit a certain place in my life now that I'm 28 years old. I've marinated in this world of boxing for a long time now, okay? And I'm marinated in the world and I'm grown as a man inside and outside of the ring, okay? I do this for me. I don't do this for you. I do it for me. You help me because without you, there is no sport of boxing. It would just be reckless fighting. It would not be a career. I am grateful of the career that I have. I'm grateful of the career that I've developed for myself. I strive for greatness each and every single time that I step into the ring. I have an O. I'm not afraid to let it go. If you can beat me, beat me. My mama used to beat me, and my daddy used to beat me. Can you beat me? That's what I want to know. That's why I signed these contracts. I love the sport of boxing. This is a sport. I look forward to each and every fight. And now I finally hit a point in my career where I'm getting the fights that I want. They talk about Danny Garcia has a tremendous resume. A lot of people fought certain people that I never fought. Guess what? Those fighters didn't want to fight me. Floyd Mayweather never wanted to fight me. Do y'all forget that when his daddy wants to talk about I was a made champion, I was the interim title holder for Mayweather? They elevated Mayweather to elevate me, to put him in position to where he never had to talk about me. He didn't have to take Keith Thurman as a mandated opponent. He got to do whatever he wanted to do. He got to wear what we call the political crown. I'm not mad at him, man. I'm not mad at that scenario. It was a little frustrating having to deal with it, but that's what happens in the sport of boxing from time to time. And Mayweather has dominated the industry since he stepped on the scene. He was an Olympian, yada, yada, yada. He fought for that political position. So it's not like it was undeserving, okay? It just was frustrating for one person because Danny fought Paulie Malignaggi. Paulie Malignaggi never wanted to fight me. I wanted to fight him at one point. He got beat by AB. We never talked about it ever again. Why? Because I was interested in fighting champions. I've always been interested in fighting champions, okay? I mean, I wanted to fight Sean Porter when he held the IBF before he fought Kell Brook. Kenny Porter had an article statement saying We don't need to fight Keith Thurman right now. We can fight him when he gets his world title, and then we can fight each other for a unification bout. He loses his title, I get my title, and then we fight for my title. Do I say he needs to go back and get a title? No, it's a fight that I always wanted. It was a fight that I was happy to make happen. Saturday night is the same scenario. Happens to be in the same venue. So, I mean, like I said, man, I do this for me. I do it for the love of the sport. I do this because this is what I've always wanted to do as a child. I am successful. A loss does not take away my success. I am not fearful of losing. I'm not fearful of getting knocked out. I hold no fear. For Jesus said, fear no man that wants to harm your flesh. I am a warrior. I've always been a warrior, and I'm willing to die in that ring. I tell my family, if I was to die in that ring, don't you shed a tear. You understand? Y'all don't fully get who Keith Thurman is. I'm somebody who loves to fight. But outside of the fight, this is a sport called boxing. Boxing also is an art. I told a person a long time ago, if you watch Floyd Mayweather, it's like watching a ballerina. It's finessing his way to victory each and every time. And everybody knows it's not easy to be a ballerina. Okay? It's not easy. So, you know, I mean, first off, a man has to wear a little tights and stuff. That's a little demeaning, you know what I'm saying? But in reality, what they put their bodies through is strenuous. To be an elite athlete is strenuous, okay? But I have a love for the sport. This is my life, man, and I love it each and every step of the way. I love the history of boxing. I've loved the history of boxing for a long time. I'm a huge fan of the history in the welterweight division, and it is my time right now, Saturday night, to leave my mark and to be a part of that tremendous history in the sport of boxing today.
Okay, I got a short question before I let you get to everybody else. It's funny because Danny Garcia was just talking about how he's real irritable during the fight week. What's your weight? What you eat today?
What I eat today?
Yeah, what's going on? What's your weight? How's the weight?
We on a
you a little fiery today, bro.
We on a stay ready juice diet with seaweed and oranges and apples. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, fight week in general, and just getting close to the fight, being on a diet for anywhere from 10 to 12 weeks, like I tell people, like, look, I'm ready to fight, okay? Y'all want to talk this and that, like I am irritable. You know what I mean? I am irritable. But what irritates me the most is that every single one of these fights, I got to put cameras in my face and be asked a lot of questions like I'm not ready to fight. Like I did not choose boxing when I was 7 years old. Okay? I could have quit at any time if I didn't want to be a fighter. I tell the amateurs that think about, kids that think about fighting, I say, now look, you need to understand that if you want to be a boxer, you need to be prepared to be hit. You watch kids and the way that they box, and you can tell instantly that they're scared to be hit. Now, I'm not saying go out there and get hit, but I'm saying you need to be mentally, physically prepared to get hit. So that when you do get hit, you don't get into that little scare mode, okay? I'm a visualization type of fighter. I visualize many outcomes. I visualize myself being up on the ropes, being pounded on, having him up on the ropes, pounding on him. I visualize taking critical blows. I visualize myself having to take a knee if I need to. And there's fights that have happened where the fight could have been prolonged if the fighter was smart enough to take a knee. If you have the skills that I believe that I do have and possess, it is wise to utilize that moment to get a recovery for oneself so that you can put yourself back into the fight. It's like a wave. There are ups and downs throughout the fight. The fight is not always going in your direction. Doesn't mean that you cannot overcome it and start to put it back into your direction.
Tallying on with the confidence conversation, I asked Danny the same thing. He said he was so confident that if he lost, he'd be willing to grow a ponytail.
Hey!
If you lost, would you be willing to cut yours?
For sure.
So you're that confident that you'd cut the ponytail off if you lost, hypothetically?
Well, outside of that, maybe Keith, one time Thurman might need something new in his life. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
I have mine long too.
You know what I'm saying? It might need a change up. You know, it's been working for a long time. You know, in the amateurs they used to call me Samson. See that boy right there? See that boy right
your
there?
power from?
They say, yo, that's Samson. Watch that boy fight. He about to fucking knock somebody out. Okay, and they, you know, I've had power for a very long time. I've been hurting grown men since I was 13, 14 years old with 16-ounce gloves and headgears, okay? That's why this is not new to me. When you see Keith Thurman fight, you see Keith Thurman fight. You only get to see the outcome of certain outcomes, and you can multiply it by how many times you've actually seen me on television, okay? But that's not the whole totality of how good of a fighter I am and everything that I've been through and everything that I've learned in the sport of boxing, you know? I mean, like I said, man, I'm living my dream. This is my American dream. I feel truly blessed, and I humble myself with that. That a lot of people have dreams, and for whatever reason, you know, maybe something happens in the streets. Maybe they picked went down the wrong path, and they never got to recover. Maybe something happened, and they started to do. You know, they just didn't believe in themselves enough to give themselves that opportunity to fully live out their dream path. I've always loved being an American, okay? So that's why I wear red, white, and blue. I'm an all-American fighter. I'm an all-American champion. And through boxing, I have accomplished my American dream. For anybody who wants to understand who Keith Thurman is a dreamer. He's one who believes in his dreams. He's one who fights for his dreams, physically and emotionally, at all times, you know? And like I said, if I gotta, I'm not afraid to let it go. If you can beat me, man. If you beat me, you're the better man than me. I'm gonna go over there, I'm gonna shake your hand, I'm gonna say congratulations, okay? Because Keith One-Time Thurman is not just an average fighter. I'm not just some overrated fighter. I've won 7 national titles in the amateurs. I was one step away from being the Olympian back in 2008. I know boxing. I'm like a pit bull. I was bred for the fight game, you know, and I'm here, man. I'm here to stay.
I think you've coined this phrase.
Question, okay?
Okay. I think you've coined this phrase, true welterweight.
For sure.
The whole thing being a true welterweight. Angel, just to paraphrase, has said, you know, you've been at welterweight for 8 years. You know, that Danny's actually the naturally bigger man because he's growing out of the weight class and getting bigger and bigger. Eyeball test, you guys, it's fight week, you're close to the actual weight. What do you think, seeing Danny physically up close? Who's the bigger man?
He has put on weight. They've done some, you know, once when you move up a weight class, you know, every fighter doesn't walk around at their fight weight. So they're always naturally bigger than the class that they compete in, you know, and that's why they're trying to act like, oh, Danny's a welterweight. He's always been a welterweight, you know. We just used to cut weight. Well, look, I cut weight to be welterweight, okay? Like, that's what a true welterweight is. Somebody who, after they have cut weight, they sit at welterweight, okay? So, you know, I see myself as the bigger guy, you know. Looking at my record, I see myself as the stronger guy. You know, but he's probably had enough time now competing in the welterweight division, adding those pounds, cutting back less, probably lifting weights, doing some core work, drinking more protein shakes, whatever that they do, you know what I'm saying? But I coined the phrase true welterweight. I'm gonna take a Mayweather money team phrase, which is skills pays the bills. That's what's gonna happen Saturday night. Apparently, because he's all about the money.
Thank you, guys.